I'm here with Coach Mark Misch of the UCCS men's cross country team. Coach, how you doing today?
Fantastic. Good to be here.
Now, Coach, yesterday was your first official practice. Tell me, how did that go?
Oh, it was a great day. It was nice and cool in the morning, overcast, nice Colorado day. It's good to have the crew all together again, and yeah, it's got a lot of work done, so it's good.
And now, Coach, have a lot of returners this year, including Corey Brown, Mitch Klomp. How do you think they're going to play an impact this year?
Well, yeah, we've got a good crew of the 26 guys we have on the team. We 15 are returners and 11 new guys, and actually 11 is a pretty high number for a new crew as well. So a bit of a mix, but yeah, only two seniors. So a lot of guys that are pretty invested and come back, especially off like our national team from last year. So yeah, good leadership, especially that class. Kind of said Corey Brown, Mitch Klomp, Seth Polich, those guys are all juniors, and they're kind of the backbone. And of course, Dave Camayo will be a sophomore, and then Nick Baca is a redshirt senior, coming back with redshirt him last year. He had a good season as the year before that, and he's looking great. And Kyle McCloskey is another guy that's probably definitely going to be in the fold in terms of things we're hoping to accomplish on a high level. He'll be a factor too.
And Coach, with all those great runners, how do you think the new recruits are gonna, flow with this team? How are they gonna, what are they gonna do this season?
Well, most of those guys will probably redshirt just because of the development process. It takes a while, and especially on the men's side, you're going from guys who used to running 5K races in high school to guys who are running 10K races at this level, with the championship season. So it's a big different than the women's side when they're going from like 5K to 6K. You see freshmen, ladies usually making an impact a little bit more. The guys' side, it's pretty rare that you're going to see a freshman there. So right now, those guys are just redshirting, but I mean they're training very hard. They'll still be racing, on their own this fall, getting experience and kind of paying their dues. But we're in a position with the program where we've got a lot of depth on the roster, a lot of development coming through, and so that's a bonus for those guys as well. They're not wasting a season just kind of down the depth charts. We're saving that for down the road, and they could be fourth and fifth year guys.
And Coach, with all of these players, went to practice yesterday and saw a lot of great chemistry already for the first practice. How does that chemistry play a factor?
Oh, well, anytime, no matter the sport, team culture's pretty crucial, I think, to a level of success. I mean, you're around these people all the time. It's not just the training, but a lot of them live together. Share houses, apartments, whatever, dorms. But that's something we try to work on. The guys that we bring in the best we can. To be people that are they're going to kind of fit with what we do, the way we go about things, kind of the priorities, and generally just overall looking at the big picture of what's better for the group as opposed to just what's better for an individual here and there. So, yeah, I mean, that being said, we treat everybody the same regardless if they're a freshman coming in or a fifth-year senior. The expectations are the same for those guys who are part of the program, academically, socially, athletically, their commitment, the things they're doing. So, yeah, I think that's what they enjoy doing. I mean, they enjoy the sport, and, of course, being together, that's a huge part of it.
And now, Coach, you guys had a pretty good cross-country season last year. What are your expectations going into this year?
I'd say, same thing every year is that we want to be the best we can be. And we can't control what any other team does or their talent level or whatever is going to happen with their program throughout the next, 3-4 months. All thing we can do is try to make good decisions and, work with our efforts and our attitude and handle whatever bumps in the road come our way between now and, November and the championship season, regionals, nationals, hopefully. But the guys understand it. It's just like life. I mean, you're going to have some ups and downs, and you've got to be able to handle those things appropriately. You can't let the highs be too high and the lows be too low. We've got to stay even keeled because when you get to the championship part of the year, I mean, you don't know what's happening with every other team and what they've been through and, illnesses and injuries and other things. So we just try to keep a focus on the big picture and what we're trying to accomplish and not worrying about, what other teams are doing, but know that, hey, when we get to November on that course, which this year's at West Texas A&M, we'll be taking these guys down in September to really get a good feel for it and race there as well. But we know that that's our job, is to be as prepared as we can be. And there's a lot of good teams in the country, and we're certainly proud of. We've been at the national championships several times, and the guys that have been part of the program, they understand that process, what it takes, and just it takes discipline, to believe that you can't get too caught up in this, like, not like short term gains. You have to be patient enough to wait and wait and wait and know that it's worth doing these things. You'll be ready when it counts. And so all we can do is that, be ready to roll. Our region's the best in the country. It's super deep, and we're going to do the best we can to be prepared to run 10 kilometers across country in November 7th and line it up and try to get us back to the NCAA championships again.
And Coach, yesterday, saw you running with the team. Running is such a big factor and a big part of your life. How does, what does cross country mean to you?
Oh man, this is my starting my 28th season as an athlete or a coach in the sport, and I think back to the beginning, and I guess I fell in love with it the first season. The first cross country race I ever ran was a JV race, 2 miles in a cow pasture in Altamont, Kansas, at Lebec County High School. Started and finished on the track. Went out into a field, but yeah, cows were in the pasture. They just took a tractor, they mowed the course out. And but I remember it vividly, like it was yesterday. And I remember the race, and I fell in love with it. This is awesome. So we're battling and getting after it. And our team did well that day, so that was also really fun. And just went from there. And I think I was really extremely fortunate to meet some really neat people early on in the sport, whether it was teammates I had or even guys who ran at other schools that I became friends with and raced against all throughout high school, and then coaches. A couple of people that had a huge impact on my life, especially early on. And when I was 17, it was when I decided I want to be a coach. I guess it might sound kind of funny, here I recruit people coming to college, and they're all pursuing different majors and things, but I knew then, I was like, I want to be a coach. And of course I didn't know what that was going to look like, or that avenue or that journey or whatever, but ended up going through college and having some great experiences and continued on. And it's been a great journey. I've met a lot of great people from around the world, and then obviously the blessing of getting to coach just some fantastic young people. I'm extremely proud of a lot of the things they've done, they've gone on to do, and that's what makes it worth it. It's hard to kind of quantify that, I guess, in one thing, but it's been a lot of travels, a lot of great meets, but more importantly, just a lot of great days, just being there with people, sharing the experience, and I'm thankful to do it. I'm thankful it's my job, so I'm gonna try to enjoy it, do the best I can as long as I can do it, and I don't know anything else I'd want to do, so it's pretty good, I guess.
And the journey continues this year. Coach, good luck this season.